Just wanted to start with a quick introduction. My name is Bree Parker. I'm going to be walking you through the Lync training session today. And then I've also have our support director, Mark Cook, on the line as well. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my desktop. Okay. And then again, I'm already recording this, so you guys can refer back to it for future training purposes. But to show you, you would click on the top under Options, and this is where you would start your recording, and you can manage your recordings here as well. And the majority of you guys already should have the Lync client downloaded on your desktops, so you'll have full access to all the different features and functionalities. But if you don't, it should look like this. This is probably how you're accessing it. And if you don't have that, just email Reshma directly, and then she'll send you the instructions to download the full version of Lync. Alrighty. And then lastly, before we get started, I'll just show you the participant list and how you view this. So you'll see here it's separated by the presenters and then the attendees. And then you'll notice the list of attendees and exactly what their rights are. And you'll see the icons on the right-hand side, and this just is going to state exactly what it is that they're doing at that time. So it'll indicate if they're instant messaging or just calling in and using the audio, or they're using the video capability, or they're doing content sharing in the meeting. Alrighty, you guys, let's go ahead and get started and just dive right into the live presentation. Any questions so far? All right. And again, you guys, feel free to chime in whenever you'd like. Okie dokie, so I'll start with the contacts. So this is going to be your Lync client. So this is what you're going to see. And on the top, I'm going to click on contacts, so this is my main page. Now there's 3 different ways that you can separate your contacts: by groups, by presence status, and by relationship. And then keep in mind that your username is just your email address. And right now you'll see that I have it under frequent contacts. So these are the people I communicate with the most. And I also have my onTop contacts. And then I've got some customers, and then I have it set up for my personal contacts as well. So again, you can set this up however you'd like to, but this is the one that I keep it on for my reference. And then you can see at a quick glance who's available by their status. So you'll see right away the people who are away and the people who are available and online. And then you can also separate it by relationship. So you could do your friends and family, your work group, or your colleagues. It's up to your preference. So again, I just have mine separated by groups, so I'll just use this screen. Now to view a contact, all you do is simply click on the person's name, and then on the right-hand side, you're going to see, just by hovering your mouse over it, their contact card. Now to expand this contact card, you would just go to the right arrow, and then it will show you additional details about the person. That's one way. Now another way you could do this is by right-clicking on the contact name, and then it's going to give you a variety of different things you can do, such as send an instant message, make a phone call, start a video call, you can share your desktop, send an email directly from here. But I'll go all the way down to the bottom and say View Contact Card, if that's what we're talking about. So 2 different ways that you can do that. And then to add a contact, actually let's start with adding a group, since we're talking about groups. You would just right-click on this particular subheading, and right on the very bottom you'll say Create New Group. So you'll see down here, I would just put in Test Group. And then if I wanted to add people to this group, I would simply just drag and drop them into the test group, and it will add it to that. Now to search for a contact, you can do it 3 different ways. You can search by name, by email address, or by phone number. So keep in mind that your Outlook is going to be syncing with your Lync client. So all of your contacts are going to be the same as your Outlook contacts. So if a person is already in your Outlook contacts, they will show up. So Mark, Shows that he's in a conference call because he's on this call right now, but he is one of my contacts in Outlook, so he showed up. Now, let's say I just put in someone's email address, and they'll show up down here, so they are not in my Outlook contacts. Now, if I wanted to add this contact, just put my cursor over it, and you'll see this plus sign on the right-hand side, and I would just click on it, and then it's going to allow me to add it to various groups that I already have pre-populated. So Breeze Test Group, I just created that one. onTop, my customers, other contacts, personal contacts, or else I can just add it to a completely new group. But that is how you add a contact. It's pretty easy. Okay, and then again, you can also find someone via phone number. And then you just add right here. Okay. Any questions so far, you guys?
Yeah, Sarge. So we have to actually manually add each contact.
So,
right.
Again, it's going to sync with your Outlook calendar. So whatever contacts that you have in there, it's going to automatically find those people. Now, if they're outside of that contact list, then yes, you would have to manually enter their contact information. And so you would start by putting in their email address, and then you'd click on that plus sign, and then you would go from there and build their contact card.
Right, but so I'm looking for certain folks in my group, and they don't show up in my all contact list right now, even though they're in my Outlook. So I have to search for them, and then I'm going to have to click on the plus sign for them as well. I'm a little confused here.
Hi, this is Mark Cook. This is Mark Cook, the Director of Customer Support. So we're working on installing all the groups, just as you see on your same time. It's not something that we've implemented currently, but it is something that we're working towards. Also keep in mind that not everybody has these Lync clients. So we've been working, with the IT department. So if you're not able to find somebody, it might be because they haven't been added yet. So we're working on getting the entire IT department. So soon you will see them.
Okay, I'll see them by default the moment Lync opens up then, instead of in the all contact group, instead of having to add them manually.
That's what we're working towards.
Okay.
Currently it's add as you want.
Right.
But because you're not the only one that's been kind of expressing that concern. So we're going to try to get where we install all of the groups just as you see in the same time, so that you don't have to add each contact.
Okay.
So it's something for the future.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Great question. Any other questions before I move on? Okay. All right, let's talk about presence. This is actually one of my favorite pieces of Lync, because you can see just at a quick glance exactly who's available, who's busy, and exactly what it is that they're doing, so you know who to communicate with and when. So the different levels of the presence, you can see the different colors. Green means that the contact is available, so they'll be able to participate in conversations. Yellow is going to mean that they are away, but they're online, just engaged in another activity. So they can be doing anything from being on a video or a video conferencing call or in a meeting. And then again, this is going to just sync at some point with your Outlook calendar. So because of the fact that I am in a meeting right now, it shows that I'm red and unavailable, and it shows that I'm in a conference call. And then you can set your availability manually. So right here on the very top, you'll see the drop-down box. And so I can make myself available. I can do a do not disturb, a be right back, appear away. And then right here, this is basically, it shows what you're doing. So you can put anything in here. So you'll see on the top I put TJIM, so thank goodness it's Monday. You can put going to lunch, whatever you're thinking, whatever you're feeling. It's kind of just like almost like a Facebook status, if you will. And then down here, you'll see the office. So this is where you can set your location. So you can show others your location. You can hide that. You can set custom locations, so office, home, coffee shop. Okay, and now let's talk about instant messaging. This is a fantastic feature, and I'm sure you guys will all be utilizing this probably the most with Lync. So to send an instant message, you just would put your cursor over the contact name and click on them. And so again, on the right-hand side, it's just going to do a quick view, and this way you could click on Send an Instant Message, and then you would just put your information or whatever you want in the dialog box below. And you'll see on the right-hand side, you can add an emoticon right here. So another way of expressing yourself.
Can you add print screens?
Print screens. So you like a screenshot?
Yeah.
Is that what you're...
Yeah. And actually SameTime actually has a function to where you can actually grab the print screen from SameTime. We do that a lot here.
So
we share interface messages, I mean, things like that, because we are IT and we're troubleshooting.
Okay, this is Mark Cook again. So if you want to copy a picture into your instant messaging conversation, you can attach any document or any pictures to send to another user. So if you use your print,
save it.
You would have to save it, yes.
As a document. Oh,
as a document. Or you could, paste it to your desktop and then you can attach it from there.
Okay, that stinks. All right. Are you looking to do anything like they have in SameTime? I mean, they have a screen capture to where I can get out just the information that I want and copy it straight into their IM.
Okay. I have heard
We use that a lot.
Okay. That's something I can definitely look into, and okay. I'll make sure everybody knows, the status on that. Okay. We'll try to find a workaround for that.
All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And then, great question. And then for the meantime, I'll just show you quickly how you would go about doing it now. So again, you would just save that image to your desktop, and then on the top right, you'll see Send a File. And so you would just click on this attachment, and it'll allow you to pull up your desktop and then just send it from here. So that's how you do it for now. And then like Mark said, it's something that we can look into changing for you guys to make it similar to SameTime. And then another way that you could send an instant message is, again, just by right-clicking on that contact. And you'll see on the top here, you would just put Send an Instant Message, and you put your message in the dialog box below. And another cool feature is that if you want to add participants to the instant message session, you would just see their name, and then you would just drag and drop them into the conversation. Previous training sessions, I've actually done that and started a call, so I don't want to do that because it would put all of you guys on hold, but just something to keep in mind that you'd be able to do. And then, let's see. You can look up previous instant messages. On the top here, you'll see activity feeds. So right here, you can see just the different statuses that I've changed. So going to lunch, go Ducks. Right here, you'll see previous conversations that I've had. And then a soft phone feature, but I don't believe you guys have that. All right, back to the contacts. Any questions about instant messaging? It's pretty straightforward.
So does it save your conversations so you can go back and look at them?
Yes, it does save your conversations. And so you would go to your Outlook, and then I believe it's under recent conversations in Outlook, just under your folders on the main page.
And does it store it by who you had the conversation with?
It does, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see, I think the next section I'd like to just briefly tell you guys, if you want to just kind of add a picture, that's up to you. But the way that you do that, you'd actually have to go to a public site like Facebook or LinkedIn or Yammer, and then you would just find the picture that you want to post, and then you right-click on that picture and save the URL that's listed, and then come up here on the very top, you're going to see the Settings tab, and you'll click on that. And these are just various settings, but you'll click on My Picture, and you'll see below, this is where you're going to put in your URL that you just saved. So you would have to take that picture from a web address if you wanted a picture. Okay, so something else I wanted to show you, starting an instant meeting. So an online meeting, you can do that whenever you'd like to, right away, just by clicking on the arrow next to the settings button, and you would just put Meet Now. And so you can do that with whatever contact that you see is available. And just keep in mind, even if people are not available, it doesn't mean that you can't contact them. I'm sure Mark knows that with me. Or else you can just right-click on that contact, and you can do Start a Video Call directly from there.
What about if you're in Do Not Disturb? Can they still contact you?
I believe that's how you have that set up on your end, and that's something that you can do right up here on Settings. Let's see, and then we would go to
Maybe status?
I don't think it's under there. But I do know that's something that you can do on one of these settings. You would just say if it's in Do Not Disturb mode, no one can contact me. Do you have anything to add to that, Mark? Okay. All right. So let's just do a quick example of some of the different things that you can do as well. So right here, you can email a person, and then we already did the instant messaging. And then this is going to show that you can call internally. I know you guys have that capability to call link to link. And then also, you can share your desktop. And then you can do other things like start a whiteboard session, you can start a poll. This is a better example. I just double-clicked on the contact, and these are the different things that you can do. So I'm currently sharing my desktop with everyone, but I can also share a program, so an Excel file or Outlook. I can share a PowerPoint presentation. I can begin a new whiteboard session. And so with that, that's pretty neat. You'd be able to draw pictures on it, attach pictures and various documents. And then you can create a poll, so a list of questions, and have everyone participate at the same time. So Lync is fantastic when it comes to conference calls, presentations, and just grabbing everyone who's available. And again, if I was to be in a call right now, it's the same thing as the instant message. I could just drag and drop them into the call, and it's going to automatically call them internally. But again, for demonstration purposes, I'm not going to click on either of these, because once I do, it will put all of you on hold and begin that session with Mark in a separate call. And on the top here, you'll see that you can just add participants to the conversation, and you can invite them by their name or by their phone number. I'll just type in the name. It's going to show this person, and then I would press OK, and then it's going to immediately call Tony and conference him in that call. And then this is where you would just attach a file. Any questions about that, about sharing screens, sharing documents, whiteboard, poll, programs, anything like that? Okay. All right, and then lastly, I'll just go over, this is fantastic. If you guys ever have any questions that come up, this help tool, just on the very top arrow, it'll say Lync Help, and this is going to show you a bunch of different how-to videos, quick start guides, training courses. It's a lot of the common questions that are asked for Lync. So I would highly recommend you guys go and just kind of go through some of the how-to videos, and it's a great way to educate yourself on Lync and a lot of those common questions. But again, if you guys have questions, you can always email Reshma and she'll get them to us and we'll be in contact with you. But it truly is a tool that you just need to kind of practice to understand how it works. And it's very intuitive. It's easy to use, and to be honest, it's kind of fun to use as well. It's kind of a creative way to communicate with others.